Alright guys, this is the beginning of chapter 2 of the Chronicles of Simon. So, where do we begin? Where do we leave off? Oh yeah, that's right, I broke my neck. And unfortunately, I didn't have insurance when I broke my neck. Haha, that's gonna play a big part of the picture in the future. But so I broke my neck. I spent 6 weeks at Lucerne Rehab, inpatient. It was a great experience. I got to know about my injury. I got to get stronger. I got a lot of mobility back. However, after that, not having insurance really bit me in the ass because they put me on Medicaid, and getting into a good nursing home is impossible with just Medicaid. So like I said, getting into a decent nursing home is pretty much impossible. The reason I had to go to a nursing home was because I was living in Florida on my own. I have no family. I was living in a one-bedroom apartment, so no family in the area. So I had to go to a nursing home, and I went to the worst nursing home in the world. When I was admitted, I was put in a room with another quadriplegic. Ha ha ha, very funny. Anyways, he was a total quadriplegic. Uh, couldn't move anything from the neck down. As I spent the first couple weeks there, I met other quadriplegics, and in my 9 months there, these quadriplegics were losing limbs at an alarming rate. I was so worried about getting a wound and losing a leg, because how am I supposed to be crazy legs if I ain't got no legs? And if you're my age, you might get that uh, little tidbit of movie trivia. If you don't know who Crazy Legs is, then you're whack. Anyway, there was another occasion. I had a 103 fever for 3 days before they sent me to the hospital. The first day I said, I feel like terror. I feel like I'm gonna die. I'm in so much pain. Please, can I have some of my pain medicine? I heard my nurse come in and talk to my roommate and say to him, your roommate is just a drug seeker, and I'm just going to give him an Ambien and a Tylenol to bring his fever down, and the Ambien will knock him out. Does anybody know what a HIPAA violation is? That means you don't talk about my shit to anybody else. That means you don't talk about my shit to anybody else. You don't talk about my shit to anybody else. So after a day, and then another day, and the third day, my mother went to the front desk and said, if you don't call an ambulance for my son right now, I'm gonna call the fucking cops. So when the ambulance came and they got me in the ambulance, the first thing they said after they checked my vitals was, we need to hit the lights, this kid is going septic. Oh yeah, this is a great nursing home. So they spent a good 2 weeks. They left me in the hospital for 2 weeks because the social workers said they would do anything to not send me back there. And of course, I was on Medicaid. So after 2 weeks of searching, they had to send me back, unfortunately. But so I am waiting on a program, the Brain and Spinal Injury Program, BSCIP. I was waiting on their fiscal year to start to help me get out of there, help me get back into society. My friend Lauren came to visit me one day. She was a nurse. She said, Simon, what is that on the back of your leg? I said, I'm sorry, Lauren. I'm a quadriplegic. I'm unable to see the back of my leg. I'm going to move my leg in order for me to see. She said, "Ha, Simon, you're an idiot, but this is serious." So she took a picture of it, and I kid you not, this was a pressure sore about the size of a $50, and it was pretty deep. I went straight to the administrator's office, and I showed him my leg. I said, "Can you tell me something about this?" And his only response to me was, "I'm sorry, Mr. Sam, we'll make sure we'll just have the nurses keep an eye on it and keep it dressed, and we'll keep it healthy." I looked at the guy like I wanted to murder this guy. I said, "Dude, that's not the point. The point is you have a CNA to wash me up every day. You have a nurse that comes in every day, and this pressure sore starts from the inside, and then, this did not happen overnight for it to get this bad. How could no one bring this to my attention? There's a giant hole in my fucking leg, and it didn't come overnight." So this is one of the instances of probably why I would have lost my leg if I didn't bring it to their attention. So come July, I move in with a gentleman who claimed that he wanted to help out another quad. He said he would charge me $500 a month, and he had 24-hour care, so I'd always be safe. I should have known from the start that that was all BS. Because within the first month, he decided to raise my rent. He accused me of stealing his food. He called my parents at home, telling them ridiculous stories of me running the streets and acting up and causing trouble. Not true. I'm wild, but I'm wild funny, not wild dumbass. Okay. Oh, mind you, this is a 4-story townhouse, and he's a complete quadriplegic. So, when if the house caught on fire, what was he gonna do? The firefighters told his aides just to push him near a window, dump a bucket of water on him, and get out because they had kids. And me, I was on the first floor. I'd be out with the quickness. I told them, drag me off the bed, pull me, I don't care. Get me out of the fire. Anyways, but you can stop. You can stop that point. And for the 24-hour care, I remember one night I was spasming so hard. Half my legs were off the bed. Another couple spasms, I would have been completely on the floor. I was screaming for help. Finally, one of his aides came down and helped pull me back on the bed. And she said, "I'm so sorry it took so long. I couldn't listen to you yell anymore, but Brian told me not to come down." But Brian told me not to come down. So, you're gonna tell me that I'm gonna live with you and you're gonna provide me with help because you care, but when I'm about to fall out of my hospital bed, you tell them not to come down? Oh yeah, and just one last bitch and I'll move on, but in the winter, I was so cold. So each floor had its own thermostat. I turned mine up. He would send his nurse down and tell me that I had to turn it down because the heat was rising and he was so hot. Okay, so why would a guy like him be so hot? I wonder. It's because he's got fentanyl patches, he's got all sorts of pain pills. His room was an icebox. So me turning my heat up would go up there and make him sweat because he was on so many fucking opiates that he was gonna overheat. Anyways, so I had to suffer in the basement and I had to buy a heater just to keep myself warm. I was cold!